The cold stars blinked above as Kai's small ship, the Star Sparrow, drifted through empty space. He was not part of any large mission or military group. He was just a repair pilot who worked alone. Some called him strange for staying away from colonies and crowds, but Kai liked the quiet. He liked fixing things. Machines did not lie or demand too much. That day, the quiet was broken by a strange sound, a low, weak signal blinked on his dashboard. It was an emergency call, but not from any human ship. The source came from Dara, a frozen moon near the edge of the Tavern system. Dara had no cities, no outposts, and no reason for anyone to be there. Most people would have ignored the signal. Pirates roamed that area, and old probes sometimes gave false alerts. But Kai didn't look away. He pressed a few buttons and tracked the signal again. It was steady but fading. Whoever sent it was in trouble. He stared out the window for a moment, thinking. Then he turned his ship and began moving toward the signal. Dara came into view slowly. A pale white moon with thick ice mountains and deep valleys. There were no trees or air, only wind that screamed across empty plains. As the Star Sparrow entered orbit, Kai scanned for the source. Soon, he spotted a crash site. A ship had fallen into one of the deep cracks in the ice. It was half buried. Smoke rose from its broken side. Kai landed his ship carefully nearby. He put on his suit, grabbed his toolkit, and stepped out into the freezing wind. The cold hit him like a wall, but he kept walking, boots crunching on the snow. The alien ship was dark and quiet. Its surface was smooth with strange markings. It did not look like anything made by humans. He found a way in through a torn section of metal. Inside, the lights flickered. The air was thin, but he moved quickly. Then he saw her. A figure lay on the floor near the pilot's seat, slim and still. Her skin was silver with a soft glow, and her hair was like strands of light. She was wearing a suit that looked damaged, and a strange crystal pulsed faintly on her chest. She was breathing, but just barely. Kai knelt beside her. He checked her pulse. It was weak. He looked around the ship but found no others. She was alone. He picked her up carefully and carried her back to the Star Sparrow. The wind pushed against him as if trying to stop him, but he kept moving. Back on his ship, he placed her on the medical bed. The machine scanned her. It did not fully understand her biology, but it gave basic help. Kai added what he could. He gave her clean air, warmth, and healing serum. Hours passed. He sat beside her, watching as the color slowly returned to her face. Finally, her eyes opened. They were large and bright with a deep glow. She sat up fast, looking around in panic. She spoke quickly in a language Kai did not know. Her voice was soft but sharp. "Wait, it's all right. You're safe here," Kai said calmly, holding up his hands to show he meant no harm. She kept speaking. Still unsure, Kai turned on the translator chip on his suit. It buzzed for a moment, then began to match her words. "Where am I? Who are you?" she asked, voice shaking. "You were hurt. Your ship crashed on Dara. I found you and brought you here. My name is Kai. I'm a human pilot," he replied. She blinked, as if the word human surprised her. "I am Ryan. I did not think anyone would come. My ship was attacked. I thought I would die alone." Kai gave her a drink and helped her sit up. "You're not alone now. You're safe here. Do you remember who attacked you?" She nodded weakly. "Raiders. They wanted the biocrystals in my ship. They hunt my kind. I tried to escape, but they hit my engine. I crashed. The cold was too much." Kai frowned. He had heard of such raiders. They moved in dark parts of the galaxy and attacked rare species for money. They did not care who they hurt. "Rest now," Kai said. "We'll talk more when you're stronger." She looked at him, confused. "You asked nothing in return." "Why?" "Help me." Kai gave a small smile. "You needed help. That's enough reason." Ryan watched him for a long moment. Then she lay back down, her eyes still open. She had never met a human before. Her people had warned her that most off-worlders were dangerous, selfish, or cruel. But this one had saved her without knowing who she was. It made no sense, yet here she was, alive because of him. Kai sat near the control panel, checking for more Signals. The raiders could still be close. But in his mind, something had changed. He had answered a call like he always did, but this time, what he found was not just another broken ship. It was someone whose story was just beginning. Inside the small ship, soft lights glowed gently. The hum of the engines filled the silence as Kai guided the Star Sparrow through empty space. Dara's frozen surface was now behind them, but the memory of what he had found there stayed in his mind. Ryan, the silver-skinned alien girl, was now resting in the medical bed, slowly healing. Kai checked the scanner screen and the route ahead. No signs of danger so far, still. He remained alert. Whoever had attacked Ryan could still be looking for her. He adjusted the ship's course and then turned his attention back to her. Ryan's eyes were open again. She was sitting up now, weak but awake. Her silver hair fell across her shoulders. Glowing faintly in the ship's light, the healing fluid had closed her wounds, and her breathing had become steady. Kai walked over, offering her some warm food. From the ship's storage, she took it slowly, looking at it with curiosity before taking small bites. "Is it all right?" Kai asked. She gave a small nod. "Strange taste, but warm. It helps." They sat in silence for a few minutes. Then Ryan looked at him carefully. "You are human," she said. "Yes," Kai replied. "And you're Valini." "I checked the ship's markings." Ryan nodded. "That is correct. My people are few now. We once lived across many worlds, but now very few remain." Kai listened closely. Her voice was calm but carried sadness. He had heard of the Valini before, rare beings known for their beauty and their strange bond ability. Most believed they had vanished long ago. "What happened to your people?" Kai asked softly. Ryan looked down. "Many were hunted, raiders. Enslavers wanted our biocrystals. The crystals form in our bodies over time. Some say they have power. I was part of a small group hiding on a deep moon colony. We thought we were safe. We were not." She paused and placed a hand on the crystal over her chest. It glowed faintly in response. "They attacked us. Only I escaped. My ship was damaged. I tried to send a call, but I did not expect anyone to come." Kai leaned back in his seat. "I was nearby. Lucky, I guess." Ryan looked at him with interest. "But why stop? You did not know who I was." "Most would leave such a signal behind." Kai shrugged. "Someone was in trouble. I don't need more reason." Her eyes searched his face. "In my world, help always comes with a cost. You helped me. What do you want in return?" Kai raised an eyebrow. "Nothing. You?" The stars outside were calm, but Kai's mind was not. He sat at the control panel of the Star Sparrow, checking the sensors again. Something didn't feel right. Ryan was resting in the back, her strength slowly returning, but she had warned him about the raiders. If they had followed her to Dara, they might still be near. He leaned forward, eyes on the screen. Then he saw it, a blip, small at first, then another. Two ships, fast, closing in from behind. Kai stood up and moved quickly to the cockpit door. "Ryan," he said. "We have company." She sat up, her crystal glowing faintly. "Is it them?" "Most likely." Kai said. "Two ships on our trail. Fast. Not a patrol. No signal code." Ryan got to her feet, still weak but alert. "They won't stop. They think I'm still on Dara. If they find me, they'll take me, or worse." Kai narrowed his eyes and sat back at the controls. Not happening. The Star Sparrow was not a battleship. It was built for transport and repairs. But Kai had made his own upgrades over the years. Hidden armor plates, a pulse shield, short-burst boosters. He had never planned to fight raiders, but he had learned to stay prepared. The enemy ships drew closer. They began sending signals. Not words, just loud warnings. Then came the demand. "Turn over the Valini. You have 1 minute." Ryan stood behind Kai, her hand on the wall for balance. "They will fire. They always do." Kai didn't reply right away. He opened the booster panel and flipped the switches. "Hold on to something," he said. The ship tilted sharply. He pulled it down into a nearby asteroid field. Large rocks floated in space. Turning slowly like silent guards, the Star Sparrow weaved between them, behind. The two raider ships followed, firing light blasts. One shot clipped the side of Kai's ship, shaking it hard. Shields down to 60, Kai said. Adjusting controls fast. He pushed the ship lower, toward a large frozen asteroid. It had an ice tunnel that opened on one side and out the other. A narrow space, barely wide enough. But he had no choice. I hope this works, Kai muttered. The ship dove into the tunnel. I scraped the wings. Light blinked red on the panel. But they came out the other side in one piece. One of the raider ships tried to follow. It got stuck halfway, its wings snapping off as it hit the wall. It spun out, crashing into the rock. Kai turned the ship sharply. One left. The second raider ship fired again. A blast hit the rear engine. Sparks flew. Rear booster is damaged, Kai said. Ryan moved forward, grabbing a toolkit from the wall. Tell me what to fix. I will help. Kai looked surprised, but nodded. Go to the back panel, find the red wire, and hold it to the green coil. That'll push extra power to the stabilizer. Ryan moved quickly, even weak. Her hands were steady. She held the wire in place, and the engine gave a fresh burst. Good, Kai said. Now hang on. He took the ship into a spin. It flipped over the asteroid belt, using the rocks as cover. Then he did something risky. He powered down the ship's lights and dropped it behind a large drifting boulder. The raider ship came closer, searching. It fired into the field, guessing. Then Kai made his move. He turned the ship back on and sent a short burst of speed. The ship rose over the raider and dropped a small repair drone. Packed with an overload charge, it stuck to the top of the enemy ship. The raider tried to turn, but the drone exploded. Not enough to destroy, but enough to knock out its systems. The enemy ship spun into a dark corner of the belt and floated there, silent. Kai let out a breath. Both ships disabled. He said. Aryan returned to the front. You tricked them. You used the ice. The field, the drone. That was a clever. Kai gave a small grin. Just needed to buy time. We can't stay here long. More might come. Orion sat down across from him. Her eyes glowed brighter now. You are not like others, she said. Kai looked at her. What do you mean? You could have run when you saw them. You could have left me on Dara. You had no reason to fight for me. Kai looked at the stars. I had one reason. You were in trouble. Ryan was silent for a moment. Then she spoke again, softer. In my world, such kindness is rare. In your actions, I see something new. Something my people thought lost. Kai didn't answer. He just watched the stars. Ryan leaned back and closed her eyes. I will tell you something tomorrow. Something about the Velini. You may not believe it, but you deserve to know. Kai nodded. All right. They floated in silence for a while. Outside, the cold space hid the danger. But inside the ship, something else had begun to grow. Trust, maybe even something more. And far away, in the dark corners of space. Other eyes were now watching. The Velini were not forgotten, and Kai had just made himself a part of something much bigger than he knew. The Star Sparrow drifted through space at a gentle speed. The stars outside were quiet once more. Inside the ship, Ryan sat near a small table while Kai worked on the controls. He checked the scanner again. No sign of raiders. The ship was damaged, but stable. They were safe for now. Ryan looked stronger. Her silver skin no longer looked pale. The crystal on her chest gave off a soft light. She sipped warm water and watched Kai in silence. You haven't asked many questions, she said. Kai glanced over. Didn't want to push you. You saved me, she said. You fought for me. You should know who I am. What I carry. Kai sat down across from her. Then tell me. Ryan touched the crystal on her chest. This is not just part of me. It is my people's heart. Each Velini carries a crystal inside their body. It grows as we grow. It holds our energy, our memory, our life. Kai leaned forward. That's why the raiders want it? Yes, she said. They break it out. They sell it like treasure. But once removed, we die. Slowly or quickly, the end always comes. The crystal cannot live without us, and we cannot live without it. Kai frowned. That's horrible. Ryan nodded. This is why my people vanished. We were hunted. Few of us remain. Most live in hiding. Some gave up their powers to survive. I chose to keep mine. I ran. She looked away for a moment. I thought I could find a safe world. But they followed. I should not have survived. But you came. Kai was silent. Then he asked, "What did you mean when you said something was awakening inside you?" Ryan looked down at her hands. The Velini do not just share energy. We form bonds, strong, deep connections. Not like simple friendship. When we meet someone whose spirit matches ours, the crystal begins to respond. It glows. It shares. It opens. She looked at him with calm, serious eyes. When you carried me through the ice and stayed by my side, my crystal began to react. I did not understand it at first, but now I do. Kai raised his eyebrows. You're saying I triggered this bond? Ryan nodded. Yes, but it is not forced. The bond will only complete if both accept. If not, it fades. Kai leaned back. That's a lot to take in. I know, she said gently, but I must tell you more. The Velini bond brings more than just closeness. It connects minds, feelings, sometimes even thoughts. Over time, it strengthens both sides, makes them faster, wiser, more aware. Kai was quiet. So, like a link, a shared life. Exactly, she said. And you're offering that, with me? I am not offering yet, she said softly. But I feel the beginning of it. I feel the trust, the respect, the spark. I must let it grow. But only if you are open. Kai stood and walked to the window. The stars outside blinked. Far and endless. He had always been alone. No crew. No family near. Just stars, silence, and broken ships to fix. And now, he stood at the edge of something new. Something strange and powerful. I don't know what the future holds, he said. But I do know I don't want to leave you behind. So if this bond is something real, I'll give it a chance. Ryan gave a small smile. That is enough. She stood up and walked slowly toward him. Her crystal glowed a little brighter. She placed a hand gently over his. For now, we go step by step, she said. He nodded. One step at a time. Just then, the control panel beeped. Kai turned. Quickly, a signal was flashing. But it was not a warning this time. It's a message, he said. From a nearby satellite. Ryan looked over his shoulder. It's an old Velini code, she whispered. A forgotten one. Kai pressed a few buttons. The message opened. A small map showed a green planet hidden behind a gas giant. A symbol glowed on the surface. That's one of our lost temples, Ryan said. We used to build them across the stars. Places of safety, power, memory. I thought they were all gone. Kai zoomed in on the planet. It's the jumps away. We can reach it if the engines hold. Ryan placed a hand on his shoulder. If we go there, I may be able to call others. If any of my kind remain, they will come. Kai gave a short nod. Then we're going. He checked the fuel and started the jump engines. They shuddered at first, but came alive. The ship turned toward the star path dot as they prepared for the jump. Ryan stood beside him. You are not just a traveler now, she said. You are part of something that has been waiting a long time to return. Kai looked at her, unsure of what waited on the green world, but sure of one thing. He wasn't just fixing machines anymore. He was helping repair a lost people. And maybe, just maybe, something broken inside himself too. The stars passed quickly as the Star Sparrow flew through space. Kai checked the controls again. Watching the power lines and engine heat, Ryan sat beside him, calm but alert. They had been traveling for hours toward the green world shown in the Velini signal. That lost temple might be the only safe place left for Ryan and her kind. We're almost there, Kai said, pointing at the screen. One more jump and we'll reach the edge of the planet system. Ryan nodded. Her silver hair moved gently as the ship shifted. That planet is called Uliar in the Old Tongue. It was once a place of learning, a place of peace. Kai looked at her. And now, I don't know. It's been silent for years, she replied. But the temple signal means something is still active. It might answer questions we both carry. Kai activated the jump engine. The stars stretched and bent for a moment as the ship moved through space. When it settled again, A large blue-green planet appeared in the distance. It circled a slow-burning sun, quiet and hidden. But they were not alone. The ship's alarm lit up red. Kai's eyes narrowed. We've got a ship in orbit. Orion stepped forward. Is it one of ours? Kai looked at the screen. No, that's a Syndax cruiser. Orion's face turned serious. The Syndax deal in rare life forms. They work with slavers. They might be hunting the same signal. The Syndax ship sent a message. Unregistered vessel. Identify yourself and turn over any non-human passenger. Immediately, Kai shook his head. They already know. They must have traced the temple signal. Orion said. The message repeated. The Syndax cruiser moved closer. Kai turned off the voice channel. We're not giving you up. Orion looked at him. Kai, listen. They're stronger than us. This ship is not made for battle. I don't want you to die because of me. I'm not leaving you, he said simply. She looked at him, eyes full of quiet light. Then we must outsmart them, like before. Kai smiled a little. That I can do. He turned the ship downward toward the planet. The Syndax cruiser followed. Slower but steady, Kai pushed the boosters, aiming for the atmosphere. The ship rattled as they entered Oliar's upper sky. Below them, forests spread across wide lands, broken by glowing rivers and distant mountains. Kai saw a strange shape on the ground, a circular stone ring surrounded by green towers. That's the temple, Orion said. It's active, Kai replied. Power source detected. I'm going in. He pulled the ship low. The Syndax ship fired a warning blast. It missed but shook the Star Sparrow hard. Shields are low. Kai said, we've got one shot at landing. The ship dropped fast, sliding through the air and landing roughly near the temple circle. The engines hissed and sparked. Kai shut them down quickly. We need to move, he said. Grabbing a small energy tool and a power scanner, Orion followed, her hand on her chest crystal. She stepped onto the ground with care. The wind was soft and warm. Green vines moved across the ancient stones as they entered the circle. The temple lights came alive. Blue and white symbols floated in the air. Orion's crystal glowed in response. This place remembers, she whispered. The Syndax ship landed far behind them. Several armored figures stepped out, moving quickly with stun weapons and scanners. Their leader wore a dark helmet and spoke in a sharp voice. Hand over the Velini. Kai stood in front of Orion. She's under protection. You can't protect her from us. The leader said, the Velini are not allowed to spread their signal again. That power belongs to the Syndax now. Orion stepped forward. You do not own us. This world was built by my people. It will answer to me. She placed her hand on the temple's center stone. Light shot out across the field. A soft hum filled the air. The ground shook. Blue vines rose and wrapped around the edges of the circle. A tall figure of light appeared. It looked like a Velini, made of memory. Welcome, Orion of the last line. The figure said, you are not alone. The Syndax soldiers hesitated. The lights grew brighter. The memory figure raised its hand. A soft wave of energy moved across the field. The Syndax weapons stopped working. Their scanners failed. The leader stepped back in anger. What is this? This is our home, Orion said. It knows who belongs here. The Syndax ship began to shake. The temple's energy field spread to the sky. The ship's systems shut down. One by one, the soldiers fled, dragging their leader with them. Kai looked around in wonder. You just scared off an entire squad without a fight. I didn't, Orion said. The temple did. It still protects the Velini. The figure of light turned toward Kai. You are not of Velini blood, it said. And yet, you carry part of our path. You stand as our bond. You are welcome. Kai blinked. It knows me. Orion nodded. The bond has begun. Even the temple can feel it. The temple's lights settled. A soft tone echoed through the land. Like a call sent across the stars. Kai turned to Orion. What was that sound? It is the beacon, she said. If any of my kind are still alive, they will hear it. They will come. Kai looked up at the sky. The danger was not over. The Syndax might return. Others might come too. But for now, the temple stood strong. And they were not running anymore. Orion stepped beside him. You gave me hope, she said. Now this place gives us a future. Kai smiled gently. Let's see what comes next. The sun above Olyar shone gently through the green sky. Soft winds passed over the tall grass near the ancient temple. The temple itself stood quiet now, but its blue light still glowed along the stones. The energy had calmed, but its presence remained strong. Kai walked slowly along the outer circle of the ruins. He looked at the sky, still alert in case the Syndax returned. But the air felt different now, safe, like the planet itself was watching over them. Ryan stood near the center of the temple. She faced the stone that had activated the beacon. Her hand was over the crystal on her chest. The glow from it was soft but steady. The signal had gone out across space. If any Vellini still lived, they would hear it. Kai walked over to her. How do you feel? He asked. Like I'm finally standing in the place I was meant to be, she replied. She turned to him and smiled. Her silver eyes shone with calm light. The temple accepts me. It welcomed you too. That means something. Kai looked around. At the ancient towers, this place feels like it was waiting, he said. Ryan nodded. It was. Not just for me, for someone strong enough to protect what is left of us. Someone who didn't come for power, but for truth. She walked slowly toward a smaller circle of stones behind the main platform. The stones were shaped like petals, and there was a flat crystal in the center. Kai followed her. What is this part of the temple? This is where the Vellini made their life vows, she said. This is where the beings would join their paths forever. Body, mind, spirit. It was not taken lightly. She turned to face him. My people are almost gone, but now I have a chance to rebuild something, not just a home, but a future. I cannot do it alone. Kai said nothing. He simply listened. The bond between us is already forming, Ryan continued. You have felt it. I know you have. You understand my thoughts. You sense my pain. You protect me without asking for anything. Kai looked into her eyes. You would have done the same. I would, she said softly. But what I offer now is more. She stepped into the middle of the stone ring. The petals lit up beneath her feet. Kai, I offer you a soul promise. It is not a simple promise of words. It is a connection between hearts. If you accept, we will be joined by the crystal itself. It will protect us, guide us, and grow stronger. With us, Kai stepped closer. What happens if I accept? Our lives will be linked, Ryan said. You will feel what I feel. You will hear me in silence. You will never be truly alone again. The bond will grow with time, stronger with trust. She took a breath. You may still choose to walk away. No harm will come. The bond will fade. But if you stay, you become part of what I am, and I become part of you. Kai looked around. He thought of all the places he had traveled, all the quiet days in empty space, all the broken machines he had fixed alone. He had never stayed anywhere for long, never let anyone get too close. But now he was here, standing before someone who had trusted him without fear, someone who had looked into him and seen more than a pilot. I came here to fix ships, he said, but maybe I was meant to help fix something deeper. He stepped into the circle and stood across from her. I accept. The crystal beneath them began to shine brighter. The air warmed. Small sparks of light floated around them, like stars waking up. Ryan held out her hands. Kai took them. The crystal on her chest glowed strong, and a beam of soft light touched Kai's chest. His heart beat faster, but not from fear. The light entered his body, and he felt a calm energy inside him. Not strange, but familiar, like a voice he had always known, but never heard until now. The light wrapped around both of them. Their minds touched gently. There were no words, only feelings, peace, strength, safety. Then the light faded. The temple was quiet again. Kai opened his eyes. He could feel something new inside him. Not heavy, not strange, just present. Ryan smiled. It is done. Kai looked at her. I feel it. Like a second heart. You carry part of me now, she said, and I carry part of you. They stepped out of the circle together. Far above, a small flash of light crossed the sky. Another ship entering the system. Ryan looked up. They are coming. I feel them. Vellini? Kai asked. She nodded. Yes, the beacon has reached them. Kai looked at the ship and then back at Orion. This is just the beginning, isn't it? She smiled. Yes, but we're not alone anymore. They stood together as the stars moved above. The lost temple of Ulyar had woken. The bond between two hearts had formed, and far away, others were finally starting to return. For the first time in a long while, the future was not a dark road. It was a path with light, and they would walk it together. Soft blue light touched the ground as a second ship landed near the temple on Ulyar. The ship was shaped like a flower in bloom, with glowing lines along its side. It was not made by humans or syntax. This was a Velini ship. Kai stood near the temple gate with Ryan beside him. Her silver hair moved in the gentle wind. The crystal on her chest glowed bright, reacting to the presence of the new ship. She looked calm but hopeful. They heard the signal, she said. They followed the call. The ship opened slowly. 3 tall figures stepped out, their skin also silver, though marked with different light patterns. Their eyes, like Ryan's, were full of quiet wisdom. The one in front stepped forward and placed a hand over his chest in respect. Daughter of the last flame, he said, you are not lost. Ryan stepped forward and bowed her head. Elder Veen, I thought your line had ended. It almost did, Veen said. We went into silence. But the crystal felt your light again. It led us here. The other two stepped forward. Looking at Kai, this one is not Velini. One of them said, he is bonded. Ryan replied. He saved me, protected me, chose me. The elder looked at Kai and gave a slow nod. You carry the mark. I can feel it. The bond is real. Kai gave a small bow. I'm just trying to help. You have done more than that, Veen said. You've brought back a path we thought lost. More lights blinked in the sky. 2 more ships were arriving. All Velini, silent for years, now returning one by one. The temple's signal had worked. Ryan stood in the center of the stone ring again. The other Velini stood around her. Kai stood just outside the circle, watching. This is your place. One of them said to him, you are bonded now. You belong. Kai stepped forward and joined Ryan. She spoke clearly, her voice steady. My people, we are few, but we are not finished. We have found safety again. We have found hope, and we have found a bridge to others. She looked at Kai. This human showed us what kindness means, what trust means. He asked for nothing and gave everything. Let this be our way forward. The elder nodded. Then the rebuilding begins now. They all touched the stones of the temple together. A wave of energy flowed through the circle, reaching into the ground. The trees nearby began to glow slightly. The air warmed. The temple responded, alive again after years of silence. Later, as the sun lowered behind the hills, Kai sat near a small pool beside the temple. Ryan joined him, sitting close. It's hard to believe all this is happening, he said. I feel the same, Ryan replied. But it is real. What happens now? Kai asked. We wait. We welcome. We rebuild. And me? He asked. Ryan smiled. You are part of it. You are part of me now. The bond cannot be broken. Kai touched the faint glow on his own chest. Since the soul promise, he had felt her presence within him, not like a voice, but a soft warmth, a sense of connection that went beyond words. It doesn't feel heavy, he said. No, she replied. It feels right in the distance. More ships arrived. Lights filled the sky like stars falling gently to the ground. The quiet planet of Ulyar was no longer alone. The next day, the Velini began to set up new structures. Light towers rose around the temple. Energy crystals were placed in the ground to help grow the land. Ryan worked with them, guiding the tasks, but she always returned to Kai's side. He helped too, repairing systems, moving parts, and using his tools to link new wires. Though their worlds were different, they worked well together. The bond helped. Even without speaking, they understood each other. At night, they sat under the stars. Kai asked about her people, their history, their ways. Ryan shared stories, some beautiful, some painful. He listened carefully, knowing every word mattered. After one long evening, Ryan looked at him and said, Do you ever want to go back to Earth? Kai thought for a moment. I don't know. I used to think I didn't belong anywhere. I just fixed things and moved on. And now I want to stay. She took his hand. Then stay. Time passed. A week became 2. Then a month. The temple grew into a village. Then into a gathering point for all who heard the call. The Syndax did not return. Word had spread that Ulyar was protected. The old systems around the planet had activated, making it hard for enemy ships to get close. Ryan had unlocked these powers through the bond, with Kai beside her. The energy had grown stronger. One evening, a young Valini child from a newly arrived ship ran to Ryan and gave her a small crystal flower for the one who lit the sky again. The child said. Ryan knelt and hugged the child gently. Kai watched from a distance. He felt pride, not just for her, but for what they had built. Later that night, Ryan and Kai stood at the edge of the forest. This place was lost, she said. Now it's alive. Kai nodded, and so are we. They stood in silence, letting the night speak. No danger, no fear, only peace. The stars above had seen many stories, but this one of a lone human pilot and a dying alien beauty had become something more. Not just survival. Not just rescue, but a beginning, a promise, and a new path forward together.